Now, we know that Labour will not say anything about undoing Brexit before the election. They might think about it after the election. But here's the thing. This is interesting. EU is saying to Keir Starmer, hey, we could have a look here at freedom of movement for under 30s. That might really annoy the boomers, Peter.
When I saw it was a story about 18 to 30s and European movement, I got really excited and I pined for all those 1830s holidays I went on many years ago, which didn't really do a lot for European unity, I have to confess. But what's interesting here is this olive branch being offered by Maros Sefcovic, who's actually the EU's Brexit negotiator. They've still got a Brexit negotiator. I mean, how strange is that? But when he's offered this kind of olive branch to the Labour Party so that 18 to 30s can have this reciprocal movement for 4 years in Europe, the Labour Party have very quickly poured cold water all over it because they don't want to be aligned in any way, shape or form to anything that could be seen as some kind of European kind of...
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because obviously they're worried. Keir Starmer is worried that if he says, yeah, we'll have a look at Brexit and try and make it, untangle it, that the whole election is then like the last one about Brexit and they lose it. And last month we had Keir Starmer on the show and you can see this going on because I asked him about freedom of movement. You want to get closer to the EU without rejoining. Is that right? Yeah,
that's right.
But you don't want free movement, which would sort out a bit of our labour shortages.
Well, look, people voted in 2016 on Brexit. Free movement, one of the key issues. And we can't simply reverse that, and we are not going to do so. But it does not mean that we can't improve on what we've got.
What do you think, Iman?
Oh, I'm so annoyed. That you made a valid point because I didn't actually know that. I actually assumed, prejudice, right? I assumed Labour, he's all for that, right? That's his demographic. Let's look after the young people, right? Because as we know, the older generation were typically those that voted for Conservatives. So this, for me, felt like somewhat of a strategic move. And it's almost as if Labour hasn't taken that opportunity to work with it. Because what he's decided to do, in my opinion, just based off of what I've just seen, it feels a bit like I'm just going to virtue signal, appease, because I want election. I want to win the next election. But what he should actually be doing is being a bit more logical, strategic, empathetic. And you can do those two things whilst keeping your typical stance as Labour, but you can also find a way, because Brexit, as we know, many people have said it's not working, you can find a way to kind of meet in the middle, right?
Well,
and that's what I would say.
It's true, but of course, elections aren't logical. And it will get emotional. And if he were to say, look, if he says, like, Brexit's not working, we're going to have a look, get under the bonnet and change a few things, the whole election will be about that. And I think they just can't face it.
Can I say, I'd actually say that it all depends on how you convey the message.
Yeah, but it gets distorted. See, the whole point of having a political system is the other party. I mean, I'm not trying to, the other party will deliberately distort what you say.
Of course, and this is where communication skills come into play.
Right.
This is where strategy comes into play. This is where you lead with empathy, logic, pragmatism. You combine both left brain and right brain, both Conservative, both Labour. And then you can find that centrist ground that allows everyone to win. Because right now we're in a state of lose and you win.
Okay,
or you win
wise.
and you lose.
I don't know
Why not we find a way to win?
I don't know if our system is...